Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I'm grateful to all of you follow me here, this little community here on YouTube. And if you've been here before, welcome back, I hope you're doing well. And if you're new here, my name is Nicholas. On my channel, I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, crystals and their magical properties, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. If you're interested in those types of things, you know what to do. Please subscribe. Click the bell icon to be notified each time I post a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about, are there a true spiritual path? Now the answer to this question is no. There's not a true, one and only true spiritual path, because if now there will be people out there who are so blinded, meaning they're very angelical. There's angelical Christians, angelical Jewish people, and of course even in paganism and other spiritual paths, they're angelical people that feel like because they're on this certain religious or spiritual path, they feel because it's right and true for them, but therefore it must be right and true for everyone, and that is just not how the cookie crumbles. It's not. Because logically, if we use logic, if there was one true spiritual path, like one true answer, and everyone had to, there was only one true religion, one true spiritual path, what we all had to follow, we'd all follow it anyway. We'd all be on the same bus. But we're not on the same bus. We're all walking our own individual path, because at the end of the day, we're all individuals. We're all unique. And spiritual paths, religion, it's very much like music. Like one of my favourite songs is Shine Bright Like a Diamond by Rihanna. Some of you've heard that song and you go, I love that song too, Nicholas. Some of you go, it's okay, it's not really my cup of tea. And some of you really hate it or dislike it. That's the thing with songs. And spirituality and religion is very much the same. That spiritual path or those spiritual practices either resonate with you or they don't. And I think every religion in the world has got some seeds of truth. Like, I don't follow Christianity, but I think there's some seeds of truth in it. I don't follow Judaism, but I believe there's some seeds of truth in it. And I don't necessarily follow Islam either, but I believe there's some seeds of truth in it. But I am an eclectic pagan witch because that's the path that's right and true for me. But when people say there's a true spiritual path, they mean what everyone should follow this specific path, and it's the true path what everyone should follow. And that just doesn't exist. Because people that claim to say this, they're very dangerous. They could be an occult leader. They could be an occult leader wanting to grab you into the cult, or they could just be someone very egotistical. They're so blinded by their path and they're out of touch with reality and logic, because there's not just one way to find God. There's not just one way to look at the world spiritually, and there's not one true spiritual path. So logic, if you use your logic, if for talking's sake, if Christianity was the one and true path, why is not everyone on the Christian bus? Metaphorically, not. Why is everyone not on the Christian bus? Because that path may resonate with some people, but there's people that may walk that path and go, maybe there's seeds of truth, but they feel there's something missing. This path just doesn't sing to them. The song of that path and the rhythm of that path just doesn't beat with them, And as someone who used to follow the Christian path, I never had a serious strict Christian upbringing. There was a time where it did ring true for me, but there was a lot of things about Christianity that I didn't agree with, like homophobicism, sexism. There's aspects of that, and that's not necessarily religion, it's people's interpretations. And I found with the Christian path as I got older, it was a path where there was more more questions rather than answers. That was for me. It just wasn't the right path for me. And it takes time to find the right spiritual path for you, because when it comes to spiritual path, there's another saying that's so true: different strokes for different folks. We're all different individuals, But for example, if someone offered you a notebook and it was in your favourite colour, and that because it's in your favourite colour and you love the design, you may buy it. But then someone else may buy it and think it's useful, but they don't really like it that much because it's not their favourite colour. And, spirituality is very much the same. When you walk the right path for you, because at the end of the day, there's no one true spiritual path. There's just the path which is right and true for you, the individual. And when you walk the right path, it feels right and true in your heart and soul, and it brings you so much joy and happiness, and you feel empowered, and it brings you clarity and answers. That's what it does. And for some people, it may be like, if people are all on the same bus, everyone on that bus is on a different destination. They're all on a different, but religiously speaking, we're not on the Catholic bus, we're not on the Jewish, Islamic, everyone's in a different bus journey, because that's what walking a spiritual path is. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And there may be a time in your life where you walk a certain spiritual path and it feels right, and then as time goes on, there's nothing wrong with the path. You just feel maybe it's not your path anymore. Like, for a long time in my path, I identified as an eclectic Wiccan witch. And I honour Wicca and I respect it, and there's still elements of Wicca in my practice, but I no longer follow the Wiccan religion or identify as Wiccan. I identify as an eclectic pagan witch. But there was a time in life where that felt right, true. Now how I identify label-wise feels right and true, and the path I'm on feels right and true as well. And witchcraft is a beautiful practice, and there are many different forms of it. But if I was to describe my practice, one of my favourite books, what I'm reading right now, is Intuitive Witchcraft. I love this book, and that's really how I would describe my path as a spiritual person, as a witch. Very intuitive. If it feels right and true in my heart, my gut, then it is. And if it feels like this particular spell or working is going to work for me, and I feel it in my heart and soul, then it is true. And I think that book, Intuitive Witchcraft, is wonderful regardless of what spiritual path you're on. But at the end of the day, my message here, and I'm always trying to give a message and food for thought, is at the end of the day, the question is, are there a true spiritual path? And the answer is no. There's only the path which is right and true for you, the individual. Because if there were one true right path, we'd all be on the same path, but we're not. Because there's not just one way to find God. There's not just one way to look at the world spiritually. And there's so many force, like energy is everything. Everything in this world is made up of energy. And there's so many different forces and so many different energies within this world as well. And whatever path you walk is going to give you answers to the big questions in life. Like, what is the meaning of your life? What is your life's purpose? Calling? Are there life after death? Whatever spiritual path you're going to walk will give you these answers. It will give you empowerment, clarity, and it will feel right for you, the individual. And and people would say there's one true right spiritual path and their path's the right and true spiritual path. I'd be very wary of individuals like that. But as always, the intention with these videos is to help you and to share a message. And this is a safe place if you're a practicing witch, Wiccan, pagan, or you're on a spiritual path, because there's no right or wrong spiritual path. There's just the path which is right for you. And as always, I hope this video helps, brings some clarity. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, walk your spiritual path with pride, and if you're a practicing witch like me, stay witchy. May meet, may part, meet again, blessed be.